Hello there, folks, and welcome to the stream. My name is Mike D'Angelo, aka That Tellest Guy, and I am joined by my lovely co-host, Rhianna.
Hello.
She is busy trying to make sure that our sound comes through. I don't know if it is. Is it coming through?
It's
good. We are doing a chat for Talking Tellest today that's going to revolve around the pets of Tellest, and by that I do not mean Zelda, Maisie, and Luna, and I don't mean like Merlin, Bartholomew, any of those fellers. We're specifically talking about the way that the races of Tellest domesticate the beasties around them and turn them into pets that like that specific race might enjoy having about. So
now, while this one had the idea that we would not tell each other what we came up with for the different races and what type of animals. So we don't know what the other one's gonna say. I'm wondering how many of ours are aligned. Michael did say he picked like one per, and I got like 3 that I divided into companion, working, and hunting, and beasts of burden.
Oh, there you go. What you doing chewing?
She's chewing on her feet.
Foot chewer.
Speaking of pets, Luna bites her own nails, so not out of anxiety, she just does it for funsies. So
I don't like them. They must die.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so I gave you like a list.
Mm-hmm.
Did you keep it in that order? So that's how we'll do it. So I didn't really get anything great out of humans.
Neither did I.
So I just said some Servalis have been domesticated.
Okay.
And I don't know that we have the art readily available for Servali, so let me throw that up on the screen.
I'm actually going to disagree with that, because I think we talked about Servalis being like very rare. So I don't know that they would be considered like domestic pets.
Yeah, that's fine. You could be wrong.
Well, no. Because what I said was just cats, dogs, horses, like typical human stuff.
Oh, no. We know for a fact that we got a Squirrel.
We got a Squirrel, but that's also a rarity.
A rarity?
Yeah, it's a uncommon pet.
Yeah. Well, so are reindeer, but they have reindeer and, you know.
True.
So.
I do love the Servalis. That's a wolf badger deer.
Wolf badger
combo,
deer.
Right.
Mm-hmm. For elves, what do you got?
So when I think of elves, I know that they live in like different climates and stuff, but I always think of forests. So I stuck with the typical creatures of the forest, foxes, owls, and deer.
Okay, so you're sticking with some pretty mundane things
for
right
these
here.
ones.
So
yes.
for elves, I have fairy serpents.
Oh, that's fun.
Think of like
I like
the
that.
way that like a Chinese dragon looks,
Mm-hmm.
and just make it real tiny, like shoulder length, you know, like from one shoulder to the other, and it's kind of got like a curve to it.
I like that.
It doesn't need to have wings,
But it could.
but it could, and if it did have wings, they don't actually have to be what functions in making it fly. It could just be like little tiny ornamental wings and stuff like that. So
kind of like a neck piece.
Yeah, I kind of think of it
draped.
like a flying mink. Like it kind of can like twirl around limbs and stuff,
like
so they
it.
can kind of like dance it around their hands.
That's fun. Very cool. I imagine elves with foxes because
I can see that.
it works.
I
Like
can see
a
that.
white fox or something.
I kind of imagine, you know, the elves of Tellest asking, "What do the fox say?"
Yes.
What about dwarves?
So I have groundhogs, or some big variant of a groundhog, because digging in tunnels. Similarly, bats, but like a big, like flying fox bat. I think that would be
having
like,
it in the caves with them.
like their version of a dog essentially, but it would be obviously
An upside down dog.
An upside down dog.
Doggies! Upside down doggies!
And then for the mount, I said big goats. Like
Very wow.
Yeah,
The
very
Rams.
wow. I think that's where that came from. But like, I imagine if they're mountainous, they're going to have a mount that allows them to go up and down mountains. So.
I like it. For dwarves, for me, the animal that I chose was a bird that headbutts, like a flying bird. Maybe not well, but like I would imagine it with like a kind of skull that like. All right, so this might have been my subconscious talking. When I was little, I chased my grandfather's bird into a mirror
Oh.
and it died. And I think maybe
If
and
he
I-
had a stronger head.
if he had a stronger head, he would have lived.
He was
And the funny thing
wearing a
is,
helmet.
and it had to have been that because I associated the bird with the bird story from Son of the Storm, and even that bird's name was my grandfather's bird's name. So yeah, I'm imagining, and the lore behind it is that the Avarians, they'll wear like helmets and stuff like that. They think that one of the Avarians was cursed to be small and became one of these birds with like a helmeted kind of look, so that not only do they have this head buddy ability, but the rest of them is kind of like a golden yellow, but the head is silver.
I like that a lot.
I don't have names for these things.
I know,
but...
I know. We're playing.
All right.
Gnomes.
Gnomes.
All right. So I picked for the companion / like working animals, mice and bunnies. I figured for some reason like bunnies would be good like foraging buddies. This is where I started adding stuff. A ring-tailed capybara as the mount.
So here's the question. We said that we were going to drink the not alcohol for every time that we had something similar.
Right.
Does it have to be something similar within the same race, or just something that we've mentioned across the board?
I think it would have to be the same race.
Same race? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have a ring-tailed capybara.
I wanted a ring-tailed lemur, like basically a capybara that's like. I want the attitude of like the unbothered attitude of a capybara, but with like sort of speed and dexterity of
a
lemur. A lemur, yeah, so that
Boing,
they can.
boing, I'm fat.
Right.
Boing.
And then I added a bonus, and I don't know if we have any precedent for this, but for some reason when I was thinking of the gnomes, I was thinking of like luma bugs in like a little lantern.
I like that.
Like as like a little like side bonus companion.
You might be thinking of the one Quantum Quest card, the guy with the lantern staff.
Maybe.
So that could very much be. I chose an armored mole rat. So like
I
like
it.
a mole rat that's not naked, and he's got like pangolin like scales. Because I figured like
I mentioned
a penguin
in another race's category.
I just figured like dwarves and gnomes are very similar in the Tellest universe. Like they're both like subterranean dwellers typically. So I figured like having a creature that could kind of burrow.
You basically just described an armadillo or like an echidna, but artificially with like the armor. I like it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Kaja?
Kaja. So I'll just jump to the mount for I said dragons for the mount, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for the companion animal, a jerboa.
What's a jerboa?
You gotta look it up. They're like little, like think of a bunny and a kangaroo and a fennec fox all had a baby.
Jerboa. Oh, that is cute.
But like bigger.
I like how it's a mouse.
Basically, but
and you're like the Kaja, the cat
right,
people are
but,
like
but bigger.
but
Like
bigger.
like imagine that like more of like small house cat sized.
I like it.
I think that would be cute because it's a desert animal and the Kaja are from the desert in Tellest.
This is a jerboa in Ark Survival Evolved. Kind of looks kitty-like.
It does look kind of kitty-like.
Kitty mouse.
Kitty mouse. For like the working / like hunting companion, a sand stingray. Like I imagine a stingray, but one that can kind of travel through sand.
Sort of
as
like
if
the land
water.
threshers a little bit, like how we originally described the land threshers from The April Fools, like the ones that could phase underground.
But like more
I like it.
stingray.
I like it.
That's it for that one.
Yes, yes. I said a small raccoon-like primate that is good at stealing.
I like that too.
Like,
That's cute.
Like, imagine the way that a raccoon looks, but like the dexterity and agility of like a monkey.
A lemur.
Yeah, basically. But it looks more raccoon-like than lemur-like. But
I like it a lot. That's cute. Alright.
kobolds.
Kobolds. So I said for the companion, a ferret / weasel / pine marten, like anything in that category. What'd you say? Give me a look.
Do you want to read the rest of yours and then I'll describe mine?
So some creature to that effect, basically. I also thought a hedgehog would be a cute companion for them. I just feel like a little prickly thing would be like right up their alley,
Mhm.
but like one that can
Well,
kind of
dogs do like to put their faces in.
right, but like one that can kind of like ball up like a Sonic the Hedgehog and like
Pew!
yeah, like be utilized in some fashion for that.
And what's their mounts?
A dire boar.
I like that. I feel like an orc would do that too, but
Yeah.
so for me for kobolds, like typically when people think kobolds, they think of like rats. You know,
Right.
like everything has become very rat-like when it comes to kobolds. And they got their name from cobalt mines. Like that was typically where they got their name from, and it wasn't like as originally described. The sound that kobolds made, as far as like miners went and everything, it wasn't like the noise a rat makes. It's a yip yip. Like that's the noise that that it makes. So that's why we went dogs with Tellest because of the yip yip sound. But I thought it would be fun to bring back the rats for like the lore purposes. So I decided on something called a moon rat.
Aww.
There actually is a real animal called a moon rat that looks like a possum, just about.
Interesting.
It's kind of like an Asian possum.
I like it.
I don't think that the Tellest moon rats would look quite like that. They would look a little bit more like a rat. But the big difference is that they are like black furred, and the hairs that they have are almost like fiber optic. Like they're like the thick, wiry hairs, and they're called moon rats because when there is enough moonlight and it shines directly on their hairs, they kind of sparkle a little bit, like the ends
I like
kind of
it.
shimmer.
Oh, that's
So,
cute. Look up a pine marten just because that's one of my favorite animals.
pine martens.
I just think they're super cute.
They are super cute.
I want one.
So
Give me.
people listening, send us a pine marten.
Send me a pine marten. They're adorable. Alright. So for the orcs, I said for the companion animal a puma hyena hybrid, like some sort of mesh of a like a cat dog kind of situation, and relatively the size of a puma / hyena.
Come on, internet. What are you for if not to tell me what a puma hyena hybrid looks like? All right, what's their mount?
Not their mount. This is the next one. Like a black bear, like a smallish black bear would be like kind of their hunting / sporting animal. And then for the orcs mount, I said a water buffalo type creature.
I could see that.
Like an
there's
armored-
almost like, I mean, specifically with like the art that we have, like there's almost like a Native American feel to them sometimes. So like a water buffalo bison kind of thing has that kind of feel as well, I would imagine.
The water buffalo specifically has that like kind of flat head that to me looked a little like armor, like a.
So
What is it? Oh yeah. Oh.
no, this is
Okay.
the thing that I thought of for an orc.
Uh-huh.
A horned boar.
Okay.
So like, you know, you got your regular beastie boar that has like the big tusks and everything. I think this one is more the one that kind of I was thinking of. It has like, they're almost like antlers,
Yeah.
but they're more like shaped the way that like a goat's would be.
There's an actual creature that kind of looks like that, isn't there? Like it's not a tapir, but it's like something along those lines. That has
The Babarusa,
that
the
guy.
Babarusa has the weird
Right.
horns. Just an unfortunate looking fella.
Poor little dude.
All right,
Minotaurs.
Minotaurs.
Alright, so a Minotaur I didn't do a mount for because I feel like they wouldn't. Like they have the legs to run basically, like in whatever way they want. So my initial companion animal for them were
Okay,
would be
rude.
Eagles. Like a big ass eagle.
Mhm.
Big wolves, like a dire wolf, or a lion, and I think the lion was just going for like the Herculean
Yeah.
like kind
Yeah,
of
there was
thing.
a moment where I was thinking of giving my minotaurs like a sheep or goat like pet.
Yeah, because of
the fleece.
Greek kind of
Yeah.
legends, yeah. But I think that they're like, I kind of did something similar with centaurs. I feel like if you're half man, half hooved creature, you're not necessarily going to be like a fan of putting like capturing and controlling another hooved animal as your mount. You know what I mean?
I went down like a whole big rabbit hole today about like in Skyrim when you play a Khajiit and like a mountain lion attacks you, like do you as a Khajiit
Attack it back.
Yeah, you do, right? Like and I mean obviously we're not actually Khajiit when we're playing the game as a Khajiit and everything, but like the whole premise is like we don't really care. Like we would still attack to preserve ourselves. The same thing I would imagine if a monkey attacked us, we'd kick that monkey clear across the room.
But I think in the case of minotaurs and centaurs and satyrs, really, like, it would be as if, like, would I get on another creature that had a set of human legs? Like, to get from point A to point B.
I would ride
I already I have human legs. Like, do I need to do
like,
that?
A great ape, I'd be like, to battle!
Could be, I guess. Good times.
So for me, for Minotaurs, this was the one thing that like Matt helped out more than anything when I went to go visit him today. There's a real life creature called a Tarzir that looks like an eye a little bit.
Okay.
And
Creepy.
in the Tellest universe, these creatures when they're in their feral stage, like they're not like domesticated, they're known to eat and like hollow out turtles and wear the turtle shell like armor.
I hate it, but also I love it.
And,
very interesting.
And also, they are slightly telepathic when eye contact is made.
Ooh.
So let me just show everyone what a Tarzir looks like.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much.
What about that one?
No,
You're gonna hate this next one even more.
No hate to the Tarzir. It's not. Is it a freaking arachnid?
It is sort of.
Oh, you big. Well, I can't curse
You
on this
big.
show, so you former president. All right. So goblins, for their companion animal, you're gonna have to look this one up because it's adorable. Goblins are tiny, right?
No, gremlins are tiny.
Oh, well, I mixed that up, but I don't really care. An elephant shrew, but a little bigger. A critter to
Boing,
that.
boing, boing, I got a nose.
I
Boing,
think
boing,
that's
boing.
cute. A snapping turtle.
I can
as
see
their,
a snapping
like,
turtle.
kind of hunting animal. And then, like, a big badger-like creature as their mount.
As a mount. I like a big badger creature as a mount. So I have, for goblins, a spider bat. It is not a hybrid of a spider and a bat. It is a bat, but when instead of like shooting webs out its butt, it vomits a web-like substance to capture its prey. So that's how like it does its thing, and they use them to hunt. I was thinking like I wanted something that was eagle-like.
That face
Yes.
is what I'm making.
Absolutely,
right now.
and that's the face that a spider bat would, or a spider bat would have. I imagine like a eagle-like hunter that the goblins employ as their hunting companion.
I like it, but I also hate her.
Oh, hold on. And Matt actually pointed out something that that this could look like a little bit.
You're not looking up a spider, are you?
Nope.
Okay.
A Kaligoo.
Aw, I love them. They're adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that, actually. Alright, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Crisis averted.
Right.
No more bleh. Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I'm good with that. Alright, I accept. So yes, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Gremlins.
So for gremlins, I mean, the goblin and the gremlin, similar-ish. A fluffy axolotl as their companion.
I have an axolotl somewhere on here.
Yeah.
Not with the gremlins, but
I think a fluffy little axolotl would be cute. Hear me out with this one. A pelican toad. So you know how? No, that's not a real thing. I'm saying like it would be kind of a hybrid of a pelican and a toad, because you know how the toads do like that. They're like their thing expands. So same premise, but instead of it being like just a toad mouth, it's kind of got like a bird beak. And it's got a mix of, like, the amphibious, like, feathers. And,
draw it for me.
Yeah, I will. It's going to be creepy.
Finger painted for me.
And then this one I really like. So, gremlins are tiny, right? a maned wolf type creature, but with extra long legs, so that they can feel
The
even
maned wolf
taller.
already has
I know,
extra long legs.
extra long legs.
Extra long
So, like,
legs.
it's uncomfortable to look at, but, like, they stride really far, so
And the
they
best
can
part
get
is,
places
they can
quickly.
walk right under them when
Right,
they're not on them.
exactly. I just think that would be hilarious, because for them, it's like, it would be like us riding a giraffe, you know what I mean?
The MC Escher of pet ownership.
I think that would be fun.
Alright, so I have a sort of slime jellyfish type creature that bounces instead of walking. The bounce is typically pretty shallow, but it can be enough to hop to low branches on trees.
I can't not think of, like, in kindergarten, the balls that you would, like,
Yes,
bounce on
yes,
with, like,
a little bit like
handle.
that, but like a squishier kind of like skirt-like look on the bottom, and then
like it.
underneath the skirt is like tendrils,
I
so
like
like
it a
it can like maneuver a little bit. It's more maneuverable than it looks like at first glance.
Land
Like,
jellyfish that
bling,
bounces.
bling, bling. Trolls.
Trolls. Okay, so for their pet, a porcupine. I just feel like they would. And they could also use the quills as adornments and stuff like that.
I can see that.
Also, a shoebill type
Bird.
companion, like kind of llama-esque, but with the shoebill terrifying dinosaur-like feel to it.
I kind of like it, like almost like an ostrich shape, but like with the shoe bill prehistoric face.
Exactly. And then their mount is a saber-toothed gorilla.
Oh God!
Like silverback,
Frightening.
terrifying, like primate-looking thing with like big teeth and just barreling out into battle.
I like it. So you had mentioned capybaras earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I figured the trolls would have a capybara-like creature that might be a little bigger, might be a little smaller, based on how they use it. So originally, they used these capybara-like creatures for their milk, like they were like farm animals.
Okay.
And they domesticated them in like different ways, the same way that dogs were domesticated. So they have like their hunting capybaras now, and they've got their little playful companion capybaras and stuff like that. You know, you got your worker capybaras and just your
and your milking capybaras.
your purse capybaras.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Rhinotors.
Rhinosaurs. Okay, so for rhinos have birds that eat the piss off of their backs.
That was
so.
Matt's thinking too.
Yeah, so I did say just birds in general. And their hunting companion, crocodile mastiff. So think of like a big mastiff dog, but with the crocodile kind
face.
of jaws and like the scales and the big tail. I think that would be a cool combo. But probably
it's making me think of Milo from The Mask when he was wearing the mask.
Pretty much, yeah. But I want the you know how the mastiff has like the jowls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the jowls over the crocodile teeth, like just terrifying. I love it. And then a giant pangolin as their so the Rhinotaur would
I actually
be
really like that as a mount,
yeah.
almost like a Komodo dragon with like pangolin skin.
right, but like big. So like they're
Like a big.
like a buffalo size, basically, that the Rhinotaur could hop on top of and have, because the Rhinotaur is, uncomfortably hot. No, so, they're wearing shoes, so I imagine, they're not so much like the hooved creatures.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it would be fine for them to have a mount, and a pangolin would make a lot of sense.
I really like that idea.
Well, then it's canon.
Canon! So this is a technical term. Diggy lizard? I imagine that rhinotaurs have little diggy lizards. Because typically, when you are going to see a rhinotaur, it's going to be around, some kind of, sandy, dirty kind of biome. And I thought that it would be fun to have something with, scales that could, be color-coded around, that kind of biome. And that, they could blend in with, desert sand and, kind of burrow underneath and hide from enemies.
Enemies. I like it.
I have two more. I didn't go the extra route and go the Avarians, Nagas, and stuff like that.
C-.
But I also made creatures.
I made creatures, sort of.
Cats and dogs.
You didn't say I had to make up creatures. You said it could be regular ones.
Make a creature.
I gave you 3 per, so
It's true.
shut up. Gnolls. So their companion animal is a prairie dog.
Pretty close to mine.
Like a little. I feel like that would be like they're dog-esque without being dogs. It still has a kind of like fairy or ferrety kind of thing. A pygmy leopard. So I love the idea of a leopard but smaller, which is kind of a cat, except it's like a hunting beast, you know.
I like it.
And then for their mount, specifically Mongolian horses. So if you've seen like the Mongolian horses, they're extra furry. They have like a real thick mane going down them, and they're built for like harsher climates and.
Let's call them hammer faces and make them pug.
Okay. I feel like they would have breathing problems.
No.
What the heck is that? A little red one.
It's
Is that photoshopped or is that like?
No, it's a strawberry hybrid Kalugo. It's probably AI. The
Yeah,
eyes
that's
look a
gotta
little
be a
off and
mix.
everything.
So I don't think that's a color that's in nature as a fuzzy.
But anyway,
creature.
does the pug have breathing problems? I
Excuse
think
me.
not.
Wrong.
Did you name all 3 of your things?
Yeah, prairie dog, pygmy leopard, and Mongolian horse.
So there is a creature called a ferret badger.
No,
They kind of just look like
we like our badgers.
they look like ferrets, but with like badger faces.
Uh-huh.
And I imagine that they also have primordial pouches that are extra dimensional, kind of like a niffler. And furthermore, they like to hide in them when they get scared.
That's. Wait, what? So they just disappear?
Into their just
Into
the
their
heads,
own-
like an ostrich,
I see.
digging their head in the sand, but into their own belly. They're like, oh.
I like it.
Mhm.
Now, could their owner companion hide within their primordial?
No, they're tiny. They're this big.
I see.
But you could give your little ferret badger like a trinket, and they could hide it.
A ferret of holding.
Yes,
Okay. I like it.
as you should.
The Avarians.
Well, let's do the Logano. I think you might have skipped them.
I did skip
I
them.
did.
I did skip them.
I did.
Alright, so their pet is a giant salamander.
It makes sense. Religious-wise, they're into salamanders, so...
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That was just
Yep, their one god.
supposition.
Their one god is a salamander. In fact, I might even have the sigil for it, perhaps.
Very cool. Their working / hunting companion animal is a piranha pig.
Aha!
So think like a forest boar kind of thing, like small pig, but piranha body, piranha teeth, goes after you, like almost like the butts from Doom Patrol. as
pigs.
But as pigs. And then swamp ostrich as their mount.
I like it. Swamp ostrich. So,
Like an ostrich, but in a swamp.
so I have said for mine, a
Feed Massimo.
axolotl type creature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to show you like a creature that looks like this, like it's bipedal,
Mm-hmm.
like this, and it scurries and scampers,
Mhm.
and it can also hold its breath a long time because you figure like Laganos are around a lot of rivers and swamps and
Right.
lakes and stuff like that. So I wanted them to have a pet that could also kind of like submerge in order to hang out with the Logano as much as it wanted.
Swamp ostrich.
That's
It's just fun to say.
swamp ostrich.
We don't know what we're gonna get on the internet for this, so do you have a safe search on? Yeah, pretty much.
I like that as a swamp ostrich.
That's basically the idea.
Mhm.
I like it a lot. Good times.
All right, Avarians.
Avarians. So similar again to like the centaurs and stuff. I feel like they would they would not have a mount necessarily.
They don't really need it too much.
They don't really need it, so I feel like theirs are all kind of going to be companion animals, and I feel like the Avarians, because they're bird people and they already have like the ability to fly, they would need a companion that
could
keeps
fly
up
as well.
with them. Yeah. So I said anything similar to like a parrot, peacock, or phoenix, something that is valued for the feathers, like the beauty of them, because I imagine Avarians kind of have that same like.
Yeah, I could see like whereas many of the other like races of Tellest might not be like, yeah, let me hang out with like the animal that kind of resembles me, into like Avarians being like, well, we're the most beautiful creatures there are.
Right. I feel like there's a haughtiness, so that having
let me surround myself with the lesser version of myself,
but with beauty as well. Like have their beauty be a reflection of what I have to offer as a companion myself.
Right.
During Twitter painting. But like I imagine, like that's what birds do. They're showy. They're like they're into color. Like so, I feel like it would translate to what their companions would be.
Yeah.
So it's more so. It's less like they're going to tell the companion what to do. It's more like, if you follow me and make me look good, I'll protect you in return.
Right.
So that was my idea for them. Are you done with your list?
I'm done with my list.
So then moving on to the Naga. The Naga are primarily aquatic, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, no, that's not
But
necessarily true.
But they can be.
They
on
can
land.
be.
Okay.
Yeah, like we had in Lord of Thunder, they were decidedly not. They were like snow,
Right.
like a snow variant.
Right. So I said for the Naga, their companion would be a sea otter, or sea otter-like creature, basically dog of the sea. Similar, a sea lion would be like their hunting companion. More like less like our sea lion, and more like a wolf of the sea.
Yeah,
basically.
like an orca.
An orca, but seal-sized with like the seal maneuverability. And then
the creature from Avatar that was like part panda, part orca.
Yeah, something like that. And then, so I like the idea of a seahorse being their mount, but
They don't really have the body for a mount anyway.
but a seahorse with legs, like sea legs,
A
and
kelpie.
then like like a kelpie, so that if they wanted to, they could wrap their slither their thing around
They
its
become
waist.
the saddle.
Basically, yeah, they become the saddle, and then they can travel by land in a way that they really they would slither on land, but now they have the hoof
Yeah.
thing. So I think that would be cool.
I don't have any pictures for centaurs or satyrs. Or harpies, for that matter.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Useless. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so the harpies, I wanted to do I feel like harpies are so grungy. I feel like they're the grungy race of Tellest. I don't know why. So I said snakes would be their primary companion.
I like that.
Because while they're flying, they can do kind of like what you said with the fairy dragon, just wrap them around their necks or something like that. A sugar glider, but more of a rat sugar glider. Something that's a little more punk rock. That's what I imagine they're punk rocky. And then vultures as their other companion. Again, I don't think they would have a mount necessarily. But I think a vulture is a pretty good
I don't have centaurs,
indicator.
but I have horses.
You do have a horse.
Imagine that there's no horse head, and he is the...
So the centaur, I feel like typically it's a noble centaur. That's what they are known for, and I feel like they would not be fans of beasts of burden or anything like that. So
neither would they need it.
neither would they need it, and I feel like any other companion is at risk of being trampled or it's just going to be a pain. So I think the only companions for them would be birds, like
an eagle or something like
prey,
that.
Yeah,
And we've kind of,
falcon
I think,
and a hawk.
we've pictured ours as very much like indigenous peoples in a lot of the mythology that we've read and conceived of. So I could see a Native American or Mongolian, like...
Right, and they're typically depicted with having some sort of bird because it can traverse like a far landscapes and messages, like...
Yep. And you figure,
identify-
like, a horse race people in real life, it's good to have a hunter like that can keep up with the way that you move.
Right. Yeah, I just couldn't... I was trying to conceive of, like a red panda type situation, but it just doesn't make sense for that.
No.
Like and I would imagine to some extent the ones of Tellest are nomadic as well, so like just didn't make sense.
Right.
And then satyrs, I have any variation of a bobcat, snow leopard, or lynx.
Oh, yeah.
The lynx being the mount. I think that like a big kitty type thing would be a good mix.
I can see that.
A satyr, I think, would not necessarily need a mount, but I feel like if it was a mountainous
Region.
cat variety, it would be like, yeah, sure, I'll hop on you occasionally and then, meet you up the mountain.
Just for fun.
Just for funsies.
All right. Well, I like it. We did 2 different assignments, but I think we arrived at some fun ones.
Yeah, I like surprising, like, I like the surprise aspect of it. I want to do
each other.
I want to do more of those for Talking Tellest because it's like we don't know what the other one's gonna say, and that's fun.
We didn't have to do one drink.
Yeah, but I'm thirsty. Now that you mention it, so.
Well, so I will let you talk or drink, and I will do the until next time closing the show page. Will I? Will I?
I drank it.
There we go.
We have to mention.
Well, we
because
It's Tales of Tellest. It's up there.
Okay, but
do you want to talk?
I want to start with that. So Luna is.
You're going to do the whole thing now.
Man. So folks, you'll see here up on the screen all the places you can find Tellest. You can find us at www.tellest.com.
No W's. We don't do W's.
It's www. If you don't know, it stands for the World Wide Web.
I like how you're so amused by yourself.
You put me in
I don't know if you noticed.
You can't do that to me. All I wanted to say was that our dog is really getting famous, and she's currently getting popular over in, like, European countries, and I have to translate all the comments, and she's really cool. You should check her out at TikTok.com/@TalesOfTellest.
The com
There's
stands
a
for
www dot in front of that, just so you know. You do the rest, I don't want to.
So Luna's got 250,000 views on one of the videos that we put up like a week or 2 ago, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
We thought that like that 7 million view one was going to be like
7.3 million.
7.3 million was as far as it was ever going to go, and that nothing was going to come close to it. But we're a quarter of the way to 1 million on another video, and that's pretty darn cool. So on the screen right now, you should see all the places that you can find Tellest out there on the internet. Tellest.com is a great first place to start because it'll lead you to the other projects that we do. We have 3 premium sites that you can go to find our content. Patreon.com/Tellest is where you can go to find digital versions of our maps. We usually post something map related on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do some kind of art thing if I'm not too tired. And then we've got Tellest.etsy.com where you can go to find physical versions of our maps. We have 83 of them available now. They are big 38 by 18 or 18 by 36 or something like that. They're really nice. They fit a computer desk very well. Bath mats. BattleMapFantasy.com is the other place that you can go if you want to get the maps by themselves in digital form and you don't want to do like a subscription-based service like a Patreon. We have 113 items on BattleMapFantasy.com/DriveThruRPG. That wasn't like, hey, go to BattleMapFantasy.com/ I'm just saying it's also our DriveThruRPG platform.
www.
The other 2 places that we are going to bring your attention to right now are our TikTok channels, @WeirdWitchWands and @Tales of Tellest. The wands is where you can find the wands. The tails is where you can find the dogs. so that's good. That's fun. And then youtube.com/@worldofTellest is where these videos land after Twitch says, "Now we don't want you here anymore," and they kick those videos off the platform. But twitch.tv/thattellestguy is the only place that you can go to find these videos live, to hear us act so super foolish in real time and make fun of us.
I don't know what he means.
She knows exactly what I means. And that is going to wrap us up. We got cookies and milk to eat, so
until next time,
we'll
we miss
miss you.
you.